Did you know that in North Korea, you could be sent to a labor camp for 3 generations of your family just for watching a Korean drama? That's not an exaggeration. It's one of the most extreme laws in the most isolated country on Earth. And trust me, it only gets more unbelievable from here. Let's start with something that sounds almost absurd. In North Korea, you can't just choose any haircut you want. The government has approved exactly 28 hairstyles for women and 15 for men. That's it. You walk into a barbershop and instead of showing a photo of your favorite celebrity, you're pointing at a government-approved chart on the wall. Long hair for men? Forbidden. It's considered a sign of capitalist influence. Even Kim Jong-un's signature hairstyle isn't available to the common people. Only he can rock that look. If you're caught with an unauthorized haircut, you could face public humiliation or worse. But hair is just the beginning. Let's talk about music. In most countries, people blast their favorite songs without a second thought. In North Korea, listening to foreign music, especially K-pop or Western pop, is a serious crime. We're talking about potential execution here. In recent years, reports have surfaced of teenagers being sent to labor camps for sharing USB drives containing South Korean music and TV shows. The government sees this as ideological contamination. They believe that one catchy pop song could unravel decades of state propaganda, and they're probably not entirely wrong. Then there's the matter of travel. Imagine living in a country where you need permission to travel to the next city. That's everyday reality for North Koreans. You can't just pack a bag and visit your grandmother in another province. You need a travel permit, and getting one requires a valid reason that the government deems acceptable. As for leaving the country, forget about it. Attempting to defect is one of the gravest crimes you can commit. If you're caught trying to escape, you face execution or a lifetime in a political prison camp. And here's the truly horrifying part. Your family pays the price too. North Korea practices collective punishment. If you defect, your parents, your siblings, even your children could be arrested and sent to camps. 3 generations of punishment for one person's decision. Speaking of punishment, let's discuss the laws around showing respect to the leadership. Every North Korean home must display portraits of Kim Il-sung and Kim Jong-il. Not optional, mandatory. These portraits must be kept clean and dust-free at all times. There are regular inspections, and if your portrait is found to be dirty or damaged, you could face severe consequences. One defector reported that when her neighbor's house caught fire, the family ran back into the burning building, not to save their children or valuables, but to rescue the portraits of the leaders. That's how deeply the fear is ingrained. The propaganda doesn't stop at portraits. North Korean students are taught from a young age that the Kim family possesses supernatural abilities. Kim Jong-il supposedly wrote 1,500 books during his university years and composed 6 operas. He allegedly never needed to use the bathroom because his body was so perfectly efficient. Yes, they actually claimed that. Children are taught that Kim Il-sung could control the weather and that Kim Jong-un learned to drive at age 3. Question any of these claims publicly, and you've committed blasphemy against the state. Now let's talk about something that affects daily life in ways you might not expect. Blue jeans. That's right. Wearing blue jeans is illegal in North Korea because they're seen as a symbol of American imperialism. The same goes for certain other Western fashion items. The government has fashion police who patrol the streets checking people's clothing. If you're wearing something deemed too Western or too revealing, you could be fined, publicly shamed, or even detained. Women's skirts must be a certain length. Men's pants can't be too tight. It's like living in a permanent dress code nightmare. But perhaps the most disturbing law is about information itself. Owning a Bible or any religious text can get you executed. North Korea is officially an atheist state, and the only worship allowed is worship of the Kim dynasty. Christians who practice their faith in secret are hunted down. There are entire labor camps dedicated to housing religious prisoners. One defector described seeing a woman in a camp beaten to death simply for possessing a Bible. And then there's the internet situation, which is almost comical if it weren't so tragic. Most North Koreans don't have access to the actual internet.
Instead, they have Kwangmyong, a closed intranet system that only shows government-approved content. Only a tiny elite and foreign visitors can access the real World Wide Web, and even then it's heavily monitored. Imagine not being able to Google something, not being able to watch YouTube videos, check social media, or read international news. Your entire understanding of the world is filtered through state propaganda.
One of the strangest laws involves the calendar itself. North Korea uses its own calendar system called the Juche calendar, which starts from the birth year of Kim Il-sung in 1912. So while we're in 2025, in North Korea, they're in Juche 114. It's a small detail, but it represents something larger, the regime's attempt to create an entirely separate reality for its citizens, one where the Kim family is the center of the universe and the outside world barely exists. The tragedy is that these aren't just quirky rules. They're tools of control that keep 26 million people trapped in fear, unable to think freely, express themselves, or live with basic human dignity. Behind every bizarre law is a story of someone who suffered for breaking it, a teenager executed for sharing a movie, a family torn apart because someone tried to escape, a person sent to a camp for 3 generations because they said the wrong thing. These are the laws of North Korea, not just crazy but cruel, not just unusual but inhumane, and they remind us that freedom, the kind most of us take for granted every single day, is something millions of people around the world are still desperately fighting for. The next time you choose your own haircut, listen to your favorite song, or scroll through the internet without a second thought, remember there's a place where none of that is possible. And maybe, just maybe, that realization will make you appreciate your freedom just a little bit more.